All right, Shalom. Start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Call Halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and greetings and salutations unto you brothers that do this work in sincerity and in truth, and also the men and women of the elect that also help forward the truth. Shalom. Um, we got a little series that I want to do. It's been on my spirit. It's about spiritual power and different miracles and spiritual power that the men of the Lord will be able to do in that day. And matter of fact, let me start with this, because come in the days coming, they're gonna know that we're the men of the Lord by the miracles that we do. You know, matter of fact, let me get this one right quick. Psalms 110 and 3, it says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power." Yeah, when we get the spiritual power, they'll be willing to be obedient unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, in the day that they see the men of the Lord with spiritual power. It says, "In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth." And teleportation in particular is what I'm going to try to focus this short lesson on. Matter of fact, we're going to go straight to the point. Yeah, it says, believe, this is St. John chapter 14, verse 11. "Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for thy very work's sake." Yeah, and the men of the Lord, you'll know that they're the men of the Lord because of the miracles they'll be able to do and the spiritual power that they'll have in that day. Right? It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go to my Father." Will be the miracles that Yahushua did, and Yahushua is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, that did couldn't be contained in any book because there were so many, for the multitude of miracles, I believe it says, right? But we'll be able to do those and greater. Walking on water, teleporting, water in the wine, so on and so forth, healing, so on and so forth. Matter of fact, let's go into this. Yeah, teleportation. It says teleportation. This is from Wikipedia. It says teleportation or teletransportation is a theoretical transfer of matter or energy from one point to another without traversing the physical space between them. So basically going from one point to another without taking the traveling of in between the space, the physical space that goes in between it, right? And the Lord did that, and other men in the scriptures did that. And I'm gonna go to when the Lord did it. It was John 20. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the point. I believe it was 19. It says, yes. It says, "Then the same day at even." This is John 20 and 19. It says, "Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut," key thing, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, because our own people was trying to put them to death. They had already put the Lord to death, and they were trying to put the disciples to death also. They're seeking them out. It says, "Came Yahushua and stood in the midst and said unto them, Peace be unto you." So how did he get there if the doors were shut? Right? He didn't walk through the door. They made a point of saying that the doors were shut. And I'm going to jump down to and that's when Thomas wasn't there. And 26. Yeah, it says, "And after 8 days again his disciples were within, and Thomas with them," because he wasn't with him the first time. And this is 8 days later. It says, "Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst." So he teleported into the midst of them again and said, "Peace be unto you." So he did it twice, 7 days or 8 days apart from each other. So he was able to teleport. He traversed the space through the door and from wherever he was at into the room with the disciples. He talked about him doing it twice. Now we're gonna go to the Apocrypha where it happened. Talking about Daniel in the lion's den. Yeah. It says, verse 30. This is in the Apocrypha. This is Bel and the Dragon, the destruction of Bel and the Dragon. Yeah, it says, verse 30 says, now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. And in the lion's den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which were not given to them to the intent that they might devour Daniel. So he made sure the lions were hungry, right? It says, and in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them, I read that, Salakia. It says, verse 33, it says, now there was in Jewry a prophet. Jewry, I believe, was in Israel, southern Israel. It said, now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel. That's not a quick walk, right? It said, unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. So he quickly put him over Babylon, over the den, in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, he teleported basically, right? It said, and Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High has sent thee. And Daniel said, thou hast remembered me, O power, O Yahweh, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat. And the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. That's spiritual power of teleportation or teletransportation, because if you know where which I didn't bring a map up on here, but if you know where Babylon was, it was in Iraq. But if he's in Israel and Iraq, that's not a stone's throw away. That's not just around the corner. That's a nice hefty walk. You gotta. That's gonna take some time. So he immediately set him back there after he vehemently set him over into Babylon to feed him. Food probably still warm and so on and so forth. So with that, I'm gonna end the lesson. This was just to build brothers' spirits up, to let them know that the Lord is gonna give us spiritual power. Man, the men of the Lord will get spiritual power. And teleportation is one of those spiritual powers. And everything that's written in these scriptures is written for our learning, So we will be able to have that spiritual power, among others. So with that, Lord willing, brothers was edified. And to the next one, I say shalom.